Almost no work environment is immune to colleague disagreements. But when there are a bunch of Hollywood personalities crammed into a small space for months on end, the friction can be even more intense. Most of the hip thrusters from Magic Mike grace the stage again in its sequel, Magic Mike XXL, but one of the first film's actors, Alex Pettyfer, was noticeably absent. Why? Well, he ticked off the wrong guy. Channing Tatum, whose stripping history the movies hilariously detailed, openly hated Pettyfer after working with him and didn't invite him back for the second round. As hard as it might be to imagine Tatum hating anybody, he and Pettyfer apparently butted heads after Pettyfer failed to pay the bills on the apartment he rented from Tatum's friend. And his standoffish demeanor during the shoot didn't help matters either. As Pettyfer himself admitted, "I sat in the corner and listened to music because I'd been told that anything I do was wrong by my reps and that I was very insecure as a human being. That also gave me a bad rep because they said, oh, Alex thinks he's f***ing better than everybody else because he doesn't speak to anyone." Pettyfer said he was just nervous the whole time, but the damage was already done. Co-stars dating and breaking up while working together can be tricky enough, but when they go so far as to get married and then divorced and then still have to work together on screen, that's an extra level of awkwardness. That's exactly what happened to Sophia Bush and Chad Michael Murray on the set of their WB teen drama, One Tree Hill.
At the end of the day, we were two stupid kids who had no business being in a relationship in the first place.
The two managed to keep it mostly civil on set, despite rumors of him stepping out on her with another woman.
Mother once said to me that if you don't have anything nice to say, not to say anything at all.
Much like the mother-daughter characters they played on screen, Shirley MacLaine and Debra Winger reportedly had a very tough time getting along on the set of the Oscar-winning movie Terms of Endearment. Rumors of fighting, both verbally and physically, plagued production. Things eventually got so bad on set that co-star and noted wildman Jack Nicholson, of all people, had to step in and keep the peace.
I'm starting to feel an obligation here, and it makes it rough.
An Officer and a Gentleman still ranks highly on most lists of top romantic dramas of all time, but for Debra Winger, the experience of making that movie was not pleasant. She and Richard Gere, who played the romantic leads, did not get along. In fact, she once likened him to a brick wall. She and Gere have since put away their differences and are able to make light of all the discontent from so many decades before. She told The Guardian, "I run into Richard Gere quite a lot, and he half jokes, 'Are you still saying terrible things about me?' We had a moment in our life which was not good, but everyone has to get it into perspective." Indeed, the pair publicly reunited in 2012 when she presented him a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Rome International Film Festival. And while it wasn't the same warm embrace we saw on screen, it was cozy enough for these two.
Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep's working relationship on the set of the Oscar-winning film Kramer vs. Kramer played out a lot like the divorced couple they were playing on screen. Over the years, Streep has been vocal about the intensity that Hoffman brought to each scene, which often startled her and sometimes downright scared her. Streep told CBS News just how far Hoffman would go on set.
In another scene, he slapped me, and when I see the movie, I see the imprint of his hand on the thing.
She added, "I think Hoffman is very, very gifted, but it wasn't the most fun I've ever had on film." Yeah, no kidding. Much like Meryl Streep, Tyrese Gibson wasn't happy with the intense physicality that co-star James Franco brought to the set of 2006's Annapolis, particularly when it came to shooting the film's big boxing match. Gibson described the experience to Elle magazine. "Whenever we'd have to get in the ring for boxing scenes and even during practice, the dude was full-on hitting me." Franco later apologized for his behavior, telling GQ, "I was probably a jerk. I was not purposely cruel to him, but I was probably so wrapped in my performance that I was not as friendly as I could have been." Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy had a love-hate relationship on the set of George Miller's 2015 dystopian epic, Mad Max Fury Road. Okay, made that a hate-hate relationship. The Oscar-winning actress put it bluntly in an interview with Esquire, saying that she and Hardy went at it on the set. "It was the isolation, and the fact that we were stuck in a rig for the entire shoot. We shot a war movie on a moving truck. There's very little green screen. It was like a family road trip that just never went anywhere. We never got anywhere, we just drove. We drove into nothingness, and that was maddening sometimes." She also added that even though the actors drove each other crazy, they still had an immense amount of respect for one another. Hardy even left her a semi-sentimental note after it was done, which read, "You are an absolute nightmare, but you are also f***ing awesome. I'll kind of miss you. Love, Tommy." Hardy's history of beefing with co-stars didn't start with Theron. He also reportedly got in a fist fight with Shia LaBeouf on the set of 2012's Lawless, which LaBeouf apparently won. Hardy himself later admitted as much, although his description of the fight sounded a little tongue-in-cheek. "He knocked me out, Sparko. Out cold. He's a bad, bad boy." He is. He's quite intimidating as well. He's a scary dude. He just attacked me. He was drinking moonshine. For his part, LaBeouf claimed the liquor had nothing to do with his aggression toward Hardy, telling MTV that their on-set battle wasn't moonshine-related at all, and was instead straight love. "We were playing brothers. There was a constant finger-in-the-ear teasing thing going on for a while. It was all love. I loved the dude like a brother, straight up." These teen TV queens were on top of the world when they shared the screen in Beverly Hills 90210, but Jennie, Garth, and Shannen Doherty had a very hard time getting along with each other on the set. In her 2014 tell-all book, Deep Thoughts from a Hollywood Blonde, Garth wrote, "I don't know why it is, but there is a universal truth that when you put 3 teenage girls together, some serious shit is gonna go down. There were times when we loved each other, and there were times when we wanted to claw each other's eyes out." In 2012, Shannen Doherty revealed that whatever rivalry had developed between the pair had since subsided, telling Glamour, "I did the new 90210 with Jennie, and there was something very different about our friendship. We were able to look at each other as grown women, and really acknowledge that we liked who the other person was now as adults. But as it turns out, you don't have to be a teenage girl to want to smack your co-star. You can be a golden one too." Betty White is so likable that it's hard to imagine anyone not wanting to become her best friend. Unfortunately, White's upbeat personality didn't mesh well with co-star Bea Arthur. During the filming of their iconic sitcom The Golden Girls, White revealed during a 2013 panel discussion with the New York Times, "We were all close, but our personalities are all so different. Bea found me a pain in the neck sometimes because of my positive attitude. I'm happy all the time, and that made Bea mad sometimes."
Woe is me. Whoa.
Jack Bauer might have been a fan-favorite superstar of the small screen, but Kiefer Sutherland's co-star Freddie Prinze Jr. absolutely despised working with the actor on the set of 24. He told ABC News, "Kiefer was the most unprofessional dude in the world. That's not me talking trash. I'll say it to his face. I think everyone that worked with him has said that." Prince's dislike for Sutherland extended so far that he said he even considered quitting show business after working with him. Why was Prinze so bothered by Sutherland? For one, Prinze had to take his shoes off to do scenes with him for the show, because he was so much taller than Sutherland. "Just put the guy in an apple box or don't hire me next time. You know I'm 6 feet and he's 5'4". Hey, it could have been worse. After all, this is Jack Bauer we're talking about.
I just watched my father die, and I felt nothing.
Jeez, just take off your shoes, man.